What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be making a track like Mall Grab. I was recommended to do this in a comment from one of you guys, so if you want to see something specific in the coming videos, leave a comment about it below. Mall Grab's an Australian producer who makes this kind of lo-fi techno / lo-fi house music. Today, I'll be taking inspiration from his biggest hit, Liverpool Street in the Rain. But without further ado, let's get straight into the DAW. The first thing I'm going to do is make a dirty and grimy drum pattern. For the break, I'm just going to copy a few of the elements over. And that's actually the drums done. Now this is where things get interesting. I've recreated the lead melody from Liverpool Street in the Rain, and it sounds like this. And I think it sounds pretty accurate. Now to break down the patch, I'm first going to turn off all the effects. Without anything, the lead sounds like this. It's actually extremely simple inside of Serum. All we've got going on is a basic square wave and this noise which has a very clicky attack. The square wave is being linked to a filter which is modulated by this envelope here. And on the effects we have a tape saturation and a multiband compressor. On the effects, we first of all have an RC20 which is adding some noise and some magnetic, and down here as you can see we're cutting out some of the highs and making it more mono. This one's pretty subtle. Then we have an EQ which is cutting out some low mids and boosting some of the highs. Then we have a very fast 30-second note delay which makes it sound like this. And now we have this reverb layer. This is an effects layer where we both have a wet layer and a dry layer. In the dry layer, we just have an EQ that cuts out the lows. On the wet layer, we have this plate reverb where the mix is set to 100 and the decay is set to 7.31 seconds. On the wet layer, we also have an EQ that's boosting some of the highs and a tool which is making only the reverb signal mono. That makes it sound like this. After the reverb, we have another RC20 which again is cutting out the highs. And lastly on the chain, we have this vinyl plugin which is making it more lo-fi. I completely forgot to mention as well, but inside Serum, I also turned down the tuning from 440Hz to 430Hz. This puts in microtones instead of the standard tuning. If I put it on 440 again, it sounds like this instead. But with 430, it sounds like this. But instead of just using the melody from Liverpool Street in the Rain, I'm going to create my own melody and make my own track out of it. I'm going to copy this over for pretty much the entire track as well. Next is the bass line. I made this FM bass in Serum which sounds like this. We just got a normal sine wave over here and another sine wave over here, pitched up an octave and 7 semitones. The level's all the way down over here because all it is modulating the FM over here. We got an envelope that looks like this which is modulating the cutoff. We got a multiband compressor which is boosting the lows and the mids a bit as well. The only effects on the bass is a sidechain which is enabled when the kick starts playing. Those two together sound like this. And with the drums, they sound like this. I've added a grand piano layer in, and it sounds like this. It's just a stock Bitwig piano with some effects on it. First we got an RC20 that's got a noise, distortion, and a digital effects on it. Then we got another vinyl with the lo-fi enabled. We got a shorter reverb with a 30% mix, and a shorter sidechain as well for the drop. And I'll copy that over for the last section of the break as well. The last thing I've added to this track is a clav sound, and it sounds like this. If I turn off the effects, it sounds like this. On the preset itself, all these effects were already loaded on, so we've got a tremolo, chorus, we got a multiband effects, an EQ, a phaser, and a delay. And that's before I added anything onto it. I added an RC20 to cut out the highs, add some noise and some magnetic. The same reverb layer as the lead melody. Another RC20 to cut out the highs, and another vinyl. And I've made this little melody. Lastly, I've got to mention the master chain. We got a gain, which is decreasing the volume a little bit. We got an EQ that's boosting the lows a lot and the highs a little bit as well. But the main thing here is an RC20. It's making the song very lo-fi. If I play the track without it, it sounds like this. And with it, it sounds like this. So it does quite a lot. And lastly, we got a limiter, which is pushing at 4 dB. But yeah, that's all for this track. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you want to see in the next videos in the comments down below. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll play the whole thing through now.